Hello, everyone. The clip you're about to hear is from one of our exclusive Patreon episodes on a recent horror release, and just like all of our other episodes, it might include major spoilers for said horror release, so don't listen to it if you haven't already seen it. You've officially been warned. And if you'd like to hear the full episode, just head on over to patreon.com/horrorqueers and subscribe today. Without further ado, here is your exclusive Patreon clip. And we have, gay sex in this movie. It is...
Yes. I won't deny, it is not the couple that I thought we would see having sex.
I agree.
And I'm mildly disappointed. I would have liked to see Cam and Dante get it on before they have some coitus interruptus.
I agree. I mean, their foreplay session, and also, again, leading to talk of condoms and PrEP is, super, 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 you never... I don't think I've heard PrEP in a TV show or a movie ever. I don't think.
I mean, nothing now.
I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't exist,
but
obviously. I'm just saying, I haven't seen a form of media that discusses PrEP openly, which, granted,
right.
It's down to, one line in this movie, but it's still there.
Yes. And a line that I missed, and you had to cue me to it when I mentioned it, but Trace, for the audiences who may be listening and don't know what the fuck you're talking about, what is PrEP?
Yes. So PrEP is actually a pill. It stands for pre-exposure prophylaxis. It's basically used to prevent HIV and AIDS. So basically, if you're prescribed PrEP, which, by the way, it's super easy to get, and it's, free, at least in the States. I don't know if it is in Canada.
It is, from what I know, but I know you have to go to the doctor and get your prescription for it.
Yes, when I was prescribed it, I had to go to a clinic here that specializes in sexual health, and they take your blood, you have to do a rectal swab.
Nice.
That was fun, and urine sample, all that jazz, and basically, it's a pill that you take daily, like birth control. And it basically reduces the effects of reduces the chance of you getting infected with HIV by about, I want to say 90, it's up to 99%, as long as you use it as directed. You have to take it this around the same time every day, preferably with a meal, not always. But anyway, we've come a long way since the 80s. And in the foreplay scene between Cam and Dante, he mentions having a condom and Dante doesn't have one, and Cam's like, cool, I'll go get one. And then Dante says, I'm on PrEP. And then as Cam is walking away, he goes, we can have both. And then he walks into the house.
Is it like the meme of that little girl who says, can we get chips or tacos or crunchy and soft
kind
or
of,
something?
But important thing to note, though, PrEP is only effective against HIV and AIDS. It doesn't prevent, chlamydia, syphilis, things like that. So
gonorrhea,
gonorrhea, yeah. So had Dante had any of those other things, PrEP would not help. So it's helpful to use PrEP and condoms simultaneously. I am not advocating for random acts of bareback sex.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I mean, I guess that is one of the other interesting things about this particular episode. When I saw the logline for it, I thought we were going to be dealing with a younger population of gay men. So I actually thought that would be a really important conversation to have, because unfortunately, within every generation, there is sometimes a lack of historical understanding or even a occasional forgetfulness about the history of queer struggles in terms of activism, but also sexual health. And there's a population of gay men who have grown up with the advent of PrEP, and they now look at it as, oh, well, I can just have bareback sex. I don't need to worry about condoms anymore.
Right.
And they're overlooking this idea that it's not 100%. I mean, it's pretty fucking close. But at the same time, the world is still rampant with herpes and gonorrhea and chlamydia. So we've actually seen a rise in all of these other STIs in the advent of PrEP, because people think that, oh, it's an all-encompassing thing. You're like, no, people, just play, but be careful.
People are so... Because, in the porn world and, just, the gay community, people are so into bareback, oh, condoms make it feel less good. And I'm just I've never really had, that big of a problem with condoms. Yeah. And by I didn't have that big of a problem, I don't have a problem with condoms.
Tell me, Trace, what is your problem with condoms?
I mean, listeners, if this is you and you are very much no, bareback is what I want. And so for some people it's a mental thing, for some people it's a physical thing, because yes, it feels better, quote unquote, without a condom on. But
it feels different. Yeah.
I mean, it's not like different enough to like make that much of a difference for you to be like, if I'm having sex with a stranger, I do want to risk getting all these things and not wear a condom.
Well, I think people should choose what best fits them, but it's one of those things where you should think about having a conversation with your sexual partner, whether that's some really cute boy that you met at the bar on New Year's Eve, or if it's like a long-term partner and you decide, okay, we're gonna, let's go off condoms because we're monogamous and all these other things. Like, whatever your rationale may be, it's important that people think about what is going to work best for them, the other person, because it's often like about communication, and then like just stay informed and like get fucking tested every once in a while, for God's sake.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, it's obviously a personal choice, but I mean, I just like, it's amazing to me, like, even in the advent of like, gay dating apps, which this movie puts to good use with Grindr specifically.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's talk about that.
Get in, losers. This is the Lady Killers, a Feminine Rage podcast. I'm Jen.
I'm Sammy.
I'm Rocco.
And I'm May. Our podcast is a tribute to the female-identifying killers in horror and more.
Each episode will feature us, your Supreme Court of female murderers, discussing our favorite lady killers, from your Julias and Jennifers to your Carries and Christines.
We'll tell her story, decide if it's good for her horror, and answer the most important question of all: would we die for her?
Join us on Thursdays as we pull on our sweaters, snatch our ice picks, sharpen our scissors, and honor the lady killers who live on the silver screen.
No boys were harmed in the making of this podcast.
Yet.
It was late in the afternoon when the professor and I took our way towards the east, whence I knew Jonathan was coming.
Jonathan Harker has asked me to note this, as he says he is hardly equal to the task, and he wants an exact record kept.
Dear Madam Mina, I have read your husband's so wonderful diary. Strange and terrible as it is true. I will pledge my life on it.
God preserve my sanity, for to this I am reduced. Safety and the assurance of safety are things of the past.
I am in hopes that I shall see more of you at Castle Dracula.
Listen to Regarding Dracula wherever you listen to podcasts, or find us online at bloody.fm.